On the late evening of Tuesday, November 30, 1982, a young woman entered the square in Constant Spring, Kingston. She walked towards a public telephone booth. She was about to make a phone call. It was to be her last telephone call. This young woman was Yvonne Marie Hibbert. In this story, I bring back to public attention her tragic death, a murder that remains unsolved for over 40 years. I am Nigel D. Salmon. You are watching Jamaican Chapter. Yvonne Marie Hibbert was a 21-year-old single woman who lived in Oak Ridge, Kingston 8. She was educated and gainfully employed as a clerk at the Ministry of Social Security. On the evening of Tuesday, November 30, 1982, Yvonne stopped at a phone booth in Constant Spring to make a phone call. Needless to say, it was the 1980s. There was no mobile phone. Phone booths were the convenient means to make a quick call when you were outside a home or business establishment. So Yvonne entered the phone booth and got connected to a co-worker, a man named Barrington Simmons, who also worked at the Ministry of Social Security as an accounting clerk. Both Yvonne and Barrington were conversing over the phone, subject of the conversation unknown. Suddenly, Yvonne's voice stopped on the other end of the line. Seconds later, the line went dead, leaving her co-worker puzzled as to what happened. Because she called from a public phone, he could not dial back. He could not dial her back. He was unable to do anything about the situation. Back at the phone booth, Yvonne was absent. An individual or individuals had taken her by force. She was kidnapped. Yvonne lived with her sister in Oak Ridge, Kingston 8. When Yvonne did not return home that Tuesday night, it was clear to her sister that something was wrong. The next day, Wednesday, there was still no sight of the 21-year-old clerk. Barrington Simmons, the co-worker who was conversing with Yvonne when the call mysteriously ended, revealed this. He revealed this to Yvonne's sister. And when Yvonne's sister learned about it, she immediately reported the matter to the Constant Spring police. Yvonne was then officially considered a missing person. So Yvonne Marie Hibbert went missing on Tuesday, November 30, 1982. Wednesday, December 1, the following day, she was still missing. Thursday, December 2, she was still missing. Then on Friday, December 3, 1982, that's 3 days later, a gruesome discovery was made. This is the death registration form for Yvonne Marie Hibbert. We're going to examine this form to find out the cause of her death. Now, on the top of the form, it says death registration form, death in the district of Mary Brown's Corner, Parish, St. Andrew. Now, on the left hand side, in the first box, it says place of death, 1 Lakehurst Drive, Kingston 8, St. Andrew. This is where her body was found on December 3, 1982. Now, Lakehurst Drive, it connects at a corner with Oak Ridge Road, or Oak Ridge, the road that's called Oak Ridge. So Yvonne was living on the road that's called Oak Ridge. Her body was found at 1 Lakehurst Drive, which means her body was found not too far from where she was living. According to records, she was living at 11 Oak Ridge, and her body was found at 1 Lakehurst Drive. Look at this picture I'm going to show you. This is a Google Street image, Street View, Google Street View. And here we can see this is Lakehurst Drive. This is where her body was found, in this very spot that you're looking at. I'm sure that maybe back in 1982 it wasn't yet much developed like this, but this is where her body was found. Now, if you turn on the Street View image, you turn, you can see Oak Ridge. I'm gonna say Oak Ridge Road, but there's no road on the name. This is the road that she lived on. So now the big question is, she was kidnapped in Constant Spring. It is said that she went to the square. She was kidnapped out there. And the question is, why was it that her kidnappers took her from the place they kidnapped her and brought her so close to where she was living? Was it a coincidence, or was it that they were on a mission to take her to her house and then they changed their mind? Because she lived with her sister at the time, 2 young women. But in any case, her body was found at 1 Lakehurst Drive, not too far from her house on Oak Ridge Road. So they said her place of death is 1 Lakehurst Drive. So the officials who wrote this, They're saying that she died there. That's her place of death. Not just the place that her body was found, but that's where she died. Let's continue. So down on the form here, it says particulars of deceased. Date of death, 30th November 1982. In simpler term, date of death, November 30, 1982. Below that it says full name, and that's her name, Yvonne Marie Hibbert. Condition, spinster. And spinster means a woman who has never been married. She was single. She was just 21. And below that you see her age there, age 21. Below that you see occupation or calling, clerk. So yes, she was a clerk at the Ministry of Social Security. Now we look over on the other side, and up at the first box on the right hand side, it says usual residence of deceased. And it is, they wrote 11 Oak Ridge Drive, Kingston 8, St. Andrew. I'm not sure why they cross it out, but that's the address that was given also in the Gleaner, that Yvonne lived with her sister at what appears to be 11 Oak Ridge, Kingston 8. Now it's time to find out how she died. And down here in the box, it says cause of death, immediate cause, and they wrote asphyxia as a result of gagging, and to further say person or persons unknown are criminally responsible for her death. Let me put that up on the screen. Asphyxia as a result of gagging, and do further say person or persons unknown are criminally responsible for her death. Now we just want to take the first line. Asphyxia. What's that? In this case, it's suffocation. So, suffocation as a result of gagging. And let me explain that. According to what was reported by journalists at the time, when Yvonne was found, when her body was found, her underwear, whether you want to say her panties, I'm going to say her underwear. Her underwear was stuffed down her throat. And it is this that suffocated her. So you can see that this young woman died very painfully, where her underwear was stuffed down her throat, block her breathing, block oxygen, and she suffocate to death. And the rest of the what they wrote, they're saying that person or persons are criminally responsible for her death. Reports in the Gleaner also suggest that she was raped, and I believe that was the case. But whatever they did to her, she died when they stuffed her underwear down her throat, blocking oxygen, and caused her to die a painful death. And for over 40 years, the individual or individuals who committed this crime remain at large. They could still be alive, or they could have died. The funeral for the late Yvonne Marie Hibbert was held on Wednesday, December 15, 1982 at St. Matthew's Church, Hitchen Street, Almontown.